Hey, it's Jim Fisher, aka The Beat, with This Week Community News. We are again out and about checking out an area high school musical production this spring. This week we're at Thomas Worthington High School, where Justin Nauman is directing Zombie Prom. Thanks for having us out. We appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you for being here very much.
So tell us, is it about a zombie? Is it about a prom? I mean, what's Zombie Prom about?
Zombie Prom, I mean, it is a very classic, love story. It is a tale of star-crossed lovers. It's very Romeo and Juliet, but let's look at it from the standpoint of the nuclear 50s with a little bit of a horror zombie movie mixed in.
I got you. So twist it just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm kind of a good girl, never break the rules, and Johnny Warner comes in. We fall in love. He's sort of a rebel, so to speak, and my parents make me break up with him. And he comes back. He throws himself into the nuclear waste plant. Comes back as a zombie trying to reclaim my heart. So I'm, I guess, the love interest of the show.
Kind of the premise is there's several high school students. You got kind of the girls are going to be a clique and the guys are going to be a clique, and they're kind of they're not back and forth really, but they're high school students, just regular high school students. And the show is set in this high school, Enrico Fermi High, and the principal, Miss Strict, starts out kind of the antagonist, and she's very strict in her school, hence her name. And these students are kind of helping the storyline go along while we follow two of the main characters, Johnny Warner and Toffee. And they are kind of Romeo and Juliet of the show. They have this forbidden love, per se. So that's kind of the general idea.
Zombie Prom is actually kind of like a rock opera. There's more singing than there is talking. But as many people think that there's a lot of zombies and everyone's a zombie in it, there's actually only one zombie in it, and you'll see that later on in the show. But it's a very lighthearted show. It's kind of, people call it a mix between Grease and Rocky Horror. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness, so I think there are like 17 dance numbers in this show. They happen right after the other. I think there are only like 4 actual scenes of dialogue, so it's a lot of dancing.
Okay. And the style of the costume set, music, dance, talk about the setting of all of that.
The costumes and the music is very 50s. The music itself was written, or the play itself was written in the early 90s, so it still has a bit of like early 90s, late 80s pop sensibility.
I gotcha.
But the rhythms, the tempos, music itself, very 50s, stylized, highly stylized. But we took a little bit of liberty with the set. We kind of had it very bright, very colorful. We're not quite done yet, but when we get there, it's going to look great.
Is that there are so many showstoppers in this show. So I say at least every other number, if not more, is a showstopper. So it's going to be a lot of enjoying singing and dancing and watching so many great characters on stage.
Gotcha. When you pick a show like this for your kids, what are some of the sort of goals that you've got?
At least for me personally, I want to make sure that I do a show that like highlights some of the talented kids that I got, and I have a number of talented kids. So I want to make sure that I choose something that, one, the kids get to showcase themselves a little bit, but also something that like has a bit of, I guess with this show, a bit of kitsch to it, a bit of cheekiness.
Okay.
So
cool. And how have they taken to this particular show?
The kids love it. They absolutely love it. I think I've had the propensity to choose a show that like many students are iffy about it first, and then they actually get in the swing of it, and then they really take hold to it.
I gotcha.
I know something that I've learned for sure is how to go really in depth with your character, because I've never played this role before. I've never played the good girl. So I've taken a lot of time with our director, Mr. Nauman, and my counterpart, Sam Hickman, the zombie. We've taken a ton of time to like really dive into our characters and learn how to fully embrace, everything about your character. So that's been super cool. Definitely, I would say, probably the biggest thing I've taken away is character development.
And what are we seeing from an audience standpoint in this show? I guess, what are we taking away from the show?
I hope you take away that you had some fun, and the show's a lot about love, and who you choose to love and who you want to love should be something that you really hold dear to, and don't let society tell you any different, whether it's a zombie or a tree. Who you want to love, what you want to love is a great thing.
I think it's a great show for all ages. There are definitely jokes and songs that adults will find hilarious and adults will really enjoy. There are a ton of fun, upbeat numbers that kids will love. So this show is really, really appealing to any age. I think it's probably one of the best shows Thomas has ever put on. So I would say come see it.